And we are live. Hey, and welcome. I'm starting just a bit earlier, a few minutes earlier today, to make sure that everything is set up properly. Also on Instagram, that everything is set up properly. Okay, brilliant. I started streaming these sessions also on Instagram live, and apparently, for some reason, it didn't went the way it's supposed to. So last time I was not able neither to download, neither to look up any comments, the comment section properly. So now I'm just double checking on that until everything is set up properly. Let me see. I'm going to drag this here. Actually, I'm going to drag it down maybe, so I can also see myself in the comment section and also reply everyone on Instagram, because we're live on Instagram as well. And it's amazing that people are already joining, which is awesome. So if you're here, welcome. My name is Noemi. I'm co-founder of Scalewave. We are an ad agency, and today's session is dedicated for an Amazon pay-per-click Ask Me Anything session. And I'm going to answer all the questions here, both in the chat that I'm receiving via LinkedIn, YouTube, and also now Instagram, which is amazing. Okay, cool. So just dragging the questions, preparing everything. So when we officially supposed to start, by then everything is set up properly. All right. Prepping still. And let me also bring here the questions next to me so I can see them. By the way, when I'm saying questions, also a few of us, a few guys did not manage to join today's meeting. So to be super respectful of that, I'm still going to answer the questions whenever there are no active questions in the chat section, so you know what I am going to answer. Okay, cool. So hey everyone, and welcome. I am Noemi, co-founder of Scalewave. We are helping brands selling on Amazon, brands that are 6-7 yearly figures. We're helping them with Amazon advertising, and today's session is dedicated to answer all the Amazon PPC questions. We're going to prioritize beginner questions especially. Why? Simply because I know that 5 years ago, whenever I started selling on Amazon, understanding what Amazon PPC ads are, I had zero clue about how things work. So I know how important it can be to answer all those questions that one might call stupid. I think they are just not. You just don't know how things work, and then everything seems to be stupid. I'm here to tell you there's no stupid question. There's a beginner question. There's a newbie question. I was that newbie 5 years ago. So today I want to answer all those questions and make sure that you are set up for success. Amazon ads, especially now in 2025, the cost per click is super, super expensive. So I'm aiming for the next hour to answer all the Amazon PPC related questions. You can also submit business related questions, or if it's about hiring or management or whatever right now it's on your plate as an entrepreneur, feel free to also send those in. Just heads up, I'm going to still prioritize the Amazon PPC questions because that's what the topic is about. So I am going to start strong, because there are also a few questions already submitted here in the chat. And the first question goes like, okay. So the very first question is, in what situation it is smarter to pause a PPC campaign instead of letting it run? In what situation would you do that? Let me think of it. So basically what you're asking me is like, when should you let an Amazon PPC just go, campaign go, and gather more data or not? And the answer to that, it really depends on the type of campaign that you're creating. So there are two types of campaigns: discovery campaigns that are broad match, phrase match, category targeting, broad model 5, or even auto campaigns. Those type of campaigns are going to need way more clicks in order to bring an outcome. For example, you might be needing 20 clicks in order to produce one sale. Those are the discovery campaigns. Ranking campaigns are the campaigns that are in exact match. Meaning, if someone is going to, I'm just picking up stuff from my table right now. So if someone is going to look for pink body mist, coconut cream, and that is the keyword that you're targeting, they're going to see your product. Hence, it's going to be an exact match of whatever they were looking for. And then for that, it might be enough even 10 clicks, so 10 times for someone to click within this product, and maybe at the 10th time, someone is going to purchase it. Why am I starting with that is because most of the time what I'm seeing is that many newbie advertisers or even intermediate advertisers who don't understand the concept between these two are going to think that either they are going to let a campaign run for too long, so they are going to generate a lot of data that is not meaningful, like that is, it's not relevant to the product that they are selling, and it's just going to add up lots of clicks, or they are not going to let the campaign breathe. Why is this important? Is because if you understand that there's a discovery type of campaign and an exact match campaign, then you're going to treat them differently. For the discovery campaign, maybe you might be needing 40, 60, 80 clicks even to get data of, all right, so now I get it, this is completely not relevant for my product, I should be changing a strategy here. For an exact match, it might be in 5 clicks, 10 clicks, or even 15 clicks, it's still a good conversion for your product. So once that you get meaningful data for the campaign, then you're going to decide of what should I do next. Usually what we're doing at ScaleWave is we are gathering a lot of information before we are taking the next decision. By a lot of information, I mean meaningful information. So if I know that right now it takes me 10 clicks, so 10 times someone is going to click within an exact match campaign for this exact keyword, pink body mist coconut cream, and the 10th person is going to convert for it, then I know for sure that that is a campaign that has a 10% conversion. If it's going to take 15 clicks, so 15 someone is going to click on it, and the 15th person is just going to convert, then it's going to be an even lower conversion, so around 8% or 8.5% conversion. If it takes them 20 times to click within, it means that the conversion is even lower. So at least I have a point of reference to know exactly, is this going to be too expensive for me? So should I lower my bids? Or is this totally, I'm getting a lot of clicks, this is exactly the product I'm selling, it's not working. Then I would be looking into, all right, is it something off with my listing, or is it not clear for whoever is looking for my exact product that they are not purchasing? Hope that answered the question. All right. We're receiving comments in the comment section. Very nice to see you guys. The second question is, what does ongoing PPC optimization look like on a weekly or monthly basis? Great question. Basically, I am going to share what we're doing at ScaleWave so you have an idea what these are. This an ongoing PPC optimization. It is having a system in place that you're going to implement on a daily, on a weekly, and on a monthly basis. So on a monthly basis. So when it comes down to Amazon PPC optimization on a weekly or monthly basis, for example, if you created a new campaign, you are going to log in within the account on a daily basis and see what data is being gathered by that campaign. Are you in first place? Are you gathering at all data? So do you have impressions? Do you have clicks? Because based on that outcome, are you going to do the next step of optimization? Either the same day, either the next day. So that is really important. Then on a weekly basis, what you're going to do, everything that is kind of a summary of what happened during the day. So for example, what we have on a weekly basis, we have an inventory checkup when we are going to check out, okay, so for this week, where do we stand inventory-wise? Do we still have enough inventory for the products that we're advertising? Are we low on stock for some items? Are we like there are too many things, like too many products, and we did not manage to sell through during last week? So based on that, we're going to adjust our strategy. on a weekly basis. We also have a monthly look back, basically, where we're going to see, all right, so what is the outcome of my daily and weekly performance? Did we hit a monthly goal that we had? And if so, how close are we from it? How far are we from it? So we're going to go into retrospective on what worked, what didn't, what can we improve, what should we just pause and try out something new. So that would be a way to do optimization / management. Now, if you're asking strictly about Amazon PPC optimization, what we're doing on our end, we're looking into, first up, optimization techniques. Here it can be either you're going to increase your bid, decrease the bid, pause either the target, pause either the keyword, pause either the campaign. So those are optimization activities. Now, when it comes down to a weekly basis, you can gather more data. For example, you can download your search term reports and see these exact keywords did not work for us. We are going to do negation process. A negation process, keyword negation, is also part of the optimization process, because what we are doing, we're making sure that irrelevant search terms are not going to show up anymore within our campaign. So that would be one of the things. What else can we do for optimization? We can look clearly into where does our ad spend go? Very important if you have multiple products. Sometimes it can happen that one product is more successful than the other one, but you're not allocating enough ad budget to it, right? So optimization technique there, when it comes down, both you can do it on a weekly, monthly basis. I would even suggest to you, if you have the one product, do it on a daily basis. Look into, or two products, do it on a daily basis. Look into how much ad spend goes towards all the products that you're advertising, because what can happen is that one product might be very successful and you're not advertising it enough or not dedicating enough budget to it, and the other, it's not performing as well, but it takes a lot of the budget. And here, to this point, actually we took over an account almost a month ago, and what we noticed on the account is that this account had multiple products, so it had multiple SKUs. However, there were two main products for which the previous management, PPC management agency, or the person who managed the ad, they were allocating a lot of ad spend to a product that was around 40% minus profit margin. And then we were like, all right, so what do we do next? Because if you're thinking this way, this is also optimization, looking into which are the products that are performing best for you, and then how do you take away ad budget from something that it's constantly negative profit, and you're going to move that ad spend into a product that is profitable. So those could be also Amazon PPC optimizations. Let me know if that helped, and also feel free to drop any other questions that you might have here in the chat. Right, cool. The third question. How do you figure out which keywords are truly the right ones for your product instead of wasting money? Great question, because it has one main thing, which is wasting money. We have to be very aware about when we are truly wasting money versus when we are gathering data that we have to pay for in order to not waste additional money. So that's going to be really important, because what you can do on your end, first off, you can, if you're running already Amazon ads for your products, you can download a report that it's called search term report. And within that report, you can see the exact search terms / targets that right now you're targeting within the campaign and are bringing you profitable income, right? So those are going to be one set of these, the outcome. The second one, it can be things that are working okay for you, but the profit margin is just very tiny, or just a bit of it, right? So that can be one other category. The third category, it can be things that are not working at all for you. The things can be that are working for you, but they're too expensive. So those type of targets and search terms here, you would consider them, should you negate those ones or what should you do with them, right? Because they are bringing you maybe a few sales, 1-2 sales, but they are not profitable. And then the fourth type is going to be things that are not working at all. So things that you're investing your spend on it, but there's no conversion. And then sometimes what can happen is that it can be just 1-2 clicks, and then there are a lot of search terms with the 1-2 click or even 3-4 clicks. They're never bringing you any sales. So now that you understand how it works, you have basically 4 buckets where you can place each of these: things that are top performers, things that are okay performance, things that are you're not making money on them, and things that never produced any income, right? So based on that, now you can know which are the keywords or here targets. I'm saying targets because keywords is basically the word itself, and then a target basically is something that it can be an ASIN, so it can be a product that you're advertising on, or a specific keyword like I just showed you, the pink body mist coconut cream. So this pink body mist coconut cream, whenever someone is typing that in the search bar, they're looking for a keyword. Whenever someone is looking for, let's say, pink body mist, and it is a different fragrance, but then on that product they are finding this product and they end up purchasing this product, this could also become an ASIN target. So you understand the difference between those. So those are the things that first I would look into for you to understand truly which are the right keywords for you that are bringing you sales instead of wasting money. Let me know if that answers your question. Okay. Next question. I'm going to sip some tea first. All right. So next question, how do catch-all campaigns work in PPC and how can they help you achieve low ACoS with FBA? So what catch-all campaigns are, not sure who came up with this term, but basically catch-all campaigns are, you're going to add either your whole catalog, product catalog, within the one campaign and add a very, very low bid for that specific campaign and see how products are going to perform. Usually this type of campaigns are at a very low bid and basically they don't spend a lot, but they have the potential of bringing you a lot of sales. So those could be a catch-all campaign. In the agency, in Scaleway, what we like to also do is a catch-all campaign for us. It can be also a campaign where we have multiple variations, maybe we have an item that has, it can be that this item and it has multiple fragrances. Now what we're doing, we're going to add all the products that are super similar to this one and they have the same or very similar price range. And that can also become a catch-all campaign because you're adding all the products and then you want to see if you're going to do that, what is the outcome? Like which are the products that are going to perform from that campaign? Technically, catch-all campaign is just you're going to bid low and hoping for sales. It's not a technique that I would highly recommend if you want to scale your overall revenue, but it is one of the campaigns that can work for your account if you want to get some cheap sales or low ACoS sales. Okay, cool question from Abshi Heck. Hope I'm pronouncing your name right, coming through LinkedIn. I have a quick strategic doubt. If we shortlist 20 plus high intent keywords for a single product, how do you usually manage them? Do you prefer running one consolidated campaign with all keywords or multiple campaigns based on match type intent? Also, how do you handle situation where CPC is very high but the average order value is low? To optimize bids and maintain profitably in such cases? Love your question. Actually, this question, I think it has like 6 questions, so allow me to answer them each one by one, and we're going to start with the very first one, okay? So if you have a short list of 20 plus high intent keywords for a single product, how do you usually manage them? It always comes down to how much budget do we have for this product or totally for the brand, because based on that you will know how to manage them. And here, giving you an example, you can technically add all the keywords within the one campaign and then see what's going to work. Usually what's happening in that case is that some of the keywords that might have higher CPC, what you're going to notice is going to receive more clicks, and Amazon is going to spend money highly likely on the terms that have a higher CPC. This is something that we're noticing on our end. Now, the second thing what is going to happen also is that if a keyword also has higher search volume, so not necessarily higher CPC, those type of keywords are going to receive more clicks. So out of the 20 keywords that you added within your one campaign, which, let's say you have a budget of $100 for the one campaign, you added 20 keywords. The way how you're going to see it is, once that you're running them, you're going to notice that some keywords, especially the ones that have higher search volume or are more broad, they're going to get way more budget allocated just because more people are looking for it. So when it comes down to strategy, what I would prefer, or how I would do it, especially for this product, if I know that I have 20 high intent keywords for a single product, I would split them either by intent. So by intent, for example, if someone is looking for, how to explain this? For whatever they would look for, you would look, or I would look at the root of the keyword. The root of the keyword is going to tell you exactly what a product would be used for, right? So that is something that I would do on my end. And what I would do based on the root, I could select them and add them in different campaigns. And then based on that, what is going to be happening is that for that specific root that the keyword has, you're going to get organic ranking, right? So even if there are 2 or 3 keywords and they have the same root, with the same root, also the other keywords are going to rank. And this is in especially exact match campaigns. So that is the one strategy. The second strategy that you could be doing here, if you have, again, multiple, like if you have a budget in mind that is, again, $100, what you could do is you can add these keywords based on a search base. So this is not the roots technique, this is the search base technique. And based on that, you can see, let's say the first 5 keywords have around 5 10,000 search volumes. Now, those keywords are going to take up most of your budget. And for those keywords, you might be allocating a higher daily budget, right? So, and for the rest of the keywords, maybe that they are also highly relevant to your product, but they have lower search volume. Hence, you can also add multiple keywords within the one campaign. And generally speaking, it's going to take, if you're going to add, for example, the $100 as the 5 first keywords have their own campaigns, and then the rest 15 that have maybe a lower search volume, you're going to add all of them within the one campaign. You can get away with a budget that is going to be allowing you both to get all those lots of clicks that you would need for those high search volume keywords, and also for the low search volumes. Let me know if this makes sense. For you. But that is one way how we would allocate, 2 different ways that we would be allocating the exact same technique of the 20 high intent keywords. Really important. So if it depends on the strategy, because you're asking what would you do if this is a launch campaign, we would never try all 20 at once. For that reason, I'm saying is because you're going to gather a lot of data that might be irrelevant. So we would actually pace it in, let's try today 5 keywords, how it's going to work, tomorrow as well, in 2 days as well. You're going to gather the data. And then if you see that you're gathering just a lot of irrelevant clicks, then you would move to the next keywords. But we would never do all the 20 keywords at once. And the last thing, to handle situations where CPC is very high. So the next question is, how do you handle situations where CPC is very high, but the average order value is low? Usually those type of campaigns, okay, so you just confirm it's a launch campaign. Yeah, then what I would do, take the 20 keywords that you have and then split them into, let's try this first 5 keywords. How do they work? And usually those would be the highest search term keywords. And then see based on that, if you are like, you would see the competitive advantage. If someone is going to look with this specific keyword for my product, and I'm going with that specific keyword in incognito, what are the other products that are showing up? Because what can happen is that even if they're highly relevant to your product that you're selling, your competition might have better listing, So that's why I'm saying that you are going to a handful of try five, because that way you can spend money wisely. And then what you would do, instead of just creating all the 20 campaigns or everything at once, what you would do is you are doing a strategic way of, let me test this quickly, see how it works, see what does not. And maybe that out of the 5 keywords, one is going to outperform all of them. The rest, you would just pause for a quick, maybe a week or so on. You would give time for the other keywords also to perform and so on. So that would be the strategy rather than just gather information. If you're gathering for 20 keywords information, even if in exact match, you're going to spend a lot of money by gathering information. If it's a product launch, highly likely if you're not competitively prepared, it might be that you're going to spend money on things that might be relevant for you, but no one is going to buy just because your competition might have more previews. Okay, let's get back to the question on how do you handle situations where CPC is very high. What we're doing usually when CPC is very high, the way how these campaigns are going to show up is you're going to have a lot of spend on a campaign a day, and then maybe the next day you're going to make the one sale, and then it's going to look like your ACAS is very, very low. So that is something that we're seeing on our end. Let me know if that helped. Or did I understood that correctly? But the average, yes, I replied correctly. Okay, I was just double checking. What is the best way to optimize bids and maintain profitability in such cases? That's the second part of the question. You'd have to be prepared of the fact that if a product is expensive, same way how a product, if it is expensive, the same way how a product, if it's in the design niche or something that people might be considering it but not immediately buying it, what we're seeing on our end, you have to prepare for a lot of clicks. So in this case, what we are usually doing, we again have only a handful of keywords that we're testing, and we're seeing that those are the most successful ones. Those are the ones that we would be making sure that always have budget. So that is the way how we would handle that. Let me know if that helped. All right, next question. What is the best way to create a clear, easy to understand PPC report for a client? Love it. Okay, so it's going to be very, very important whatever you tracking. And now it's going to be important to see what the client needs, what the client appreciates and values. Giving you an example, in all our PPC reports, what we're providing the following. We're providing the ACOS, the TACOS, the clicks, the impressions, the CTR. So everything what basically the Amazon is going to allow us to download, we're going to provide all that. Now, we are not providing that for the client. We are providing that for us. So we have reference, because keep in mind, what the client cares about is sales and profitable sales and growing. Maybe they have, if that is their goal, to grow the account, or maybe if their goal it is to optimize for profitability, they're going to care how much money did you save them while still keeping the same or very similar amount of sales. So those two are basically the goals. And the client, what they are going to value mostly is how close and far are you from that, right? I'm really important here, and I just want to make sure that I'm explaining this correctly, because what I'm seeing most of the time is that agencies, or not only agencies, but whoever is very much into data and analytics, they want to showcase like everything and give all this information and all this data and so on, and the brand owner does not get it. And more importantly, not only that they don't get it, but they get information that they are not finding useful, and then second, they are doubting that you are going to level with them, meaning that you are going to explain to them exactly what is going on within the account. Here, just sharing a quick story. You're welcome, Abhishek. Here, just sharing a quick story on during an account audit that we had with a brand that selling on multiple marketplaces. And one thing that they said that they're considering now another management for their Amazon ads. It was that the current manager who was spending money on Amazon PPC ads, basically they just throw all the data at them and did not explain to them how does that work, or why does it work, or what is the strategy behind, or what they are doing. It was just numbers, And this is very common to everyone who is very much into data. So they understand data and they would assume that the client or the brand owner would understand it as well. They don't. For them, that is not important. Now, if you have the type of brand owner for whom they're very strict and kind of like they're the strategies behind the account, and you are just managing and optimizing their ads, that is a different approach, because then the client might be needing strict data because they understand the data. But most of the time, what we're seeing on our end, if a brand just wants to grow, they want to hit a 5%, 10% growth month by month. If you're achieving that, only if things go only if you're very far away from the goal, or only if there are just a few questions that make no sense for them and they're just going to ask it based on the data that you're submitting, that is highly more likely to happen rather than a client who's like, oh, do this, because that type of client is looking for outsourcing, whatever the management side is, when most brands and most clients what they are looking for is growth. And if you manage to show them that you're growing week by week, month by month, year by year, is more than enough for them. So let me know if this makes sense when it comes down to what should reporting look like for a client. Next question. What's unique about running Amazon PPC for supplements, and why can it be so competitive? It's not necessarily unique, but there are certain categories that are very expensive. Usually these are categories that are consumables, or they can have clients or like loyalty when it comes down to brand following. Supplements falls into that category, and it's not necessarily it's unique about it, but the cost per click for supplements is extremely high compared to other products. By extremely high, I am saying imagine it's 5 to 10%, even 15%. Sometimes it's higher than a regular product that is not, consumable. By consumable, also cosmetics or beauty items, even pet items. Supplements, of course, are going to include that. And what we've seen so far on our end when it comes down to strategy for such brands is to assure that you are not going to, either you're going to have campaigns that are very narrow, meaning that you're going to have only a few keywords in exact match and you're going to run ads for that because those are always bringing you sales, and you're going to make sure that for those ones you're never going to lose placement, basically. Either what you can do, you can try newer strategies that your competition, it's not doing. So for example, if you're running a bunch of sponsored product ads and you see that your cost per clicks is $10, $15, $20 even for supplements, this is super natural, even like maybe on the low end, I would call it. What you can do, you can try out sponsor brand video ads, for example, and see what is the conversion there and what would be your CPC. And if you manage to bring sales through the sponsor brand video ads that are more profitable than the sponsored products, then sponsor brand video ads could be one of those things that technically can help you optimize your strategy better. So let me know if that makes sense. But basically, that would be it. You have to either you have to outsmart your competitors, basically, and then always think 5 steps ahead of them when it comes down to this. Okay, next question coming in. What are some practical ways to increase click-through rate on your Amazon PPC ads? You are going to increase click-through rate by 1, targeting. So you're going to ensure that whatever you target is highly relevant for your product. Giving you an example, a discovery campaign, when it comes down to automatic match, even loose match, the click-through rate, it can be way, way lower than an exact match. And then if you know this, now you will know that for discovery campaigns, the click-through rate is going to be lower no matter what I do. So there you cannot really optimize further besides negating more and just ensuring that you're going to come up for the correct targeting, right? This is the first thing. The targeting type that you're using is going to help you increase your click-through rate. The second thing is going to be placements. So it really depends on which placement is your ad going to show up. But we're seeing on our end, the highest click-through rate, usually top of search, has the highest click-through rate. Now, for top of search to have the highest click-through rate, and if you would be still running into the loose match campaigns, that's something that I'm not recommending, just because you're going to get a lot of clicks without conversion, and the ones that are going to convert, yeah, it might convert on top of search. But for that, what I would recommend is instead focus on the campaigns that are already more exact. So either exact match, either phrase match, either something that is way more closer to whatever the outcome you want it to be. That is also a quick way for you to increase your click-through rate. Third thing is going to be negation. We touched a bit on this when it comes down to negation. When I mentioned the loose match campaigns, for example, but negation could be one of those things that is going to help with click-through rate. And we're talking only strictly now PPC related topics. We're not touching base at all when it comes down to creative. Next thing that can increase click-through rate, the ad type. So sponsored product ads are going to get a way lower click-through rate than sponsored video ads, simply because dynamic ads are going to catch quicker eyeballs than the ones that are just static ads. There's just no the science behind it and everything. So that is also one way for you to increase your click-through rate, moving more campaigns into sponsored brand video campaigns. And then let me see what else can increase your click-through rate that is strictly ad related. Okay, just a second. Allow me a second. Right now, maintenance is coming, so super inconvenient. I'm not even sure how to pause. All right, let me remove myself. Be right back. Sorry, I'm just recording something I really like. Is it okay for you to come in 30 minutes and break the digital? Okay, thank you. Appreciate you. And apparently this also happened on Live Club. Good. So we are very realistic here, as you can see. Okay, so we were talking about click-through rate and we were talking about what other ways to improve. The next thing what can increase also your click-through rate, for example, if you have a campaign where you have multiple targets, it's going to also lower your click-through rate. So ensuring that out of those multiple targets, giving you a clear example, if you have an automatic campaign where all the 4 ad types, close match, loose match, substitutes, complements, are active, for some of them, click-through rate might be lower, for others higher. So simply by pausing the ones that are not bringing you the best outcome, that can also increase your click-through rate. In a very similar way, if you have multiple products within the one campaign and you see that some products are outperforming the other products, pausing the products that are not performing as well and instead creating their own campaign and letting them run, that itself also can increase your click-through rate. So I think we went through at least 5 or 6 tips, tricks, techniques that you could increase your click-through rate that has nothing to do with images. Now, images, this is the second side that has nothing to do with Amazon ads anymore. Images itself can also increase your click-through rate. The way how they increase your click-through rate is you're going to make sure that you're going to check out your competition and see whatever they are using, whatever they are doing, whoever generates the most income, usually the most revenue, they have usually better strategies when it comes down to the main images. So one way to increase your click-through rate is going to be through your main image. Or through your creative, right? So the main image in this case is going to be one of the ways. And then what you're going to ensure is that, for example, if this is, again, I'm showcasing the pink body mist coconut cream. So for example, if I'm going to place this product as is, and if I'm going to place, for example, coconut next to it, whoever is going to see this image without even reading the text, they are going to click in their mind that, hey, there's a coconut next to it, might be this product, it smells like coconut, right? So that could be one trick that also is going to increase your click-through rate. Another tip here when it comes down to creatives and increasing your click-through rate, it can be through the creatives that you're using for sponsored brand video, sponsored display ads. That basically is a lifestyle image of someone using your product. That also can increase click-through rate versus you just have your product, right? So that is also something that you could do to increase your click-through rate. Now you have a full list of ways how to increase click-through rate. Let me know which one you tried. All right. Next question. What should a proper Amazon PPC launch look like for a brand selling FBA for a brand new product? Well, successful. That's what it should look like, I believe. Okay, now let's be serious. What should it look like? Basically, what you would need to have for this is, first off, know if there's demand for your product. Because if there's no demand for your product, no matter how much, ads are you going to create and hope that it's going to convert, no one's going to buy. So the keywords that someone would look up your product with, do they have search volume? Is it at least it is at least above 500 search volume total per month for someone, like for the one product, for someone to be interested in the product and purchases? Because if no, then it means that even if you would launch the product, it's an amazing product, you're investing a lot of time and effort in your creatives, in everything, like the product itself and so on, there's no demand for it. So that is the first thing that you would look into Amazon PPC launch. Before even launching it, do you have enough keywords that have enough search volume for the product? Because if not, what you might be end up creating is like you might be creating a lot of super detailed campaigns, new campaigns, and everything is in exact match and everything you hope that it's going to work, but there is no search volume for it. For us, that is going to be really important. For an Amazon PPC launch, when it comes down to FBA products, do we have search volume? Now that we know that we have search volume, next is going to be inventory-wise. Do we have enough inventory for at least 1.5 months for that product? And again, seemingly it has nothing to do with Amazon PPC because you're asking about Amazon PPC, but keep in mind that we are not selling digital products, selling products that actually will need to be shipped to your customer. So if you don't have inventory, that is a red flag. So to be successful in Amazon PPC, first, search demand. Second is going to be, do you have enough inventory for at least a month and a half to advertise the product? The third thing is going to be, do you have enough keywords that are like at least 5 to 10 keywords that have different roots, or they have different search intents. Why am I saying this? Is because what we're noticing is that product that is very one-sided. Giving you an example, nicotine gum. There are very little ways for us to describe a nicotine gum besides it's a gum that has nicotine. And if you're going to do a product research or so on, you will see that there are a lot of brands that are selling. And because there's not so many ways to describe that product itself, the keyword itself, nicotine gum, is going to become extremely expensive just because there's just one handful, maybe 2-3 keywords that you could use that have a high search volume that people would look for, right? So that's why I'm saying that, do you have at least 5 to 10 keywords that are high search intent and also are going to generate sales? So based on that, now you know that the product is ready to sell. Now, proper Amazon PPC launch look like. So you have inventory, you have a product that is ready to sell. The next thing is going to be, do you have enough competitive advantage against your competitors? And competitive advantage, it can be either the way how the product is designed, either the way how you're showcasing the product, either the way what you are solving with the product, either the price itself. So even a price can become a competitive advantage. It's not something that I would recommend, but what you're going to see a lot of Chinese companies who are selling on Amazon US, they cut by half the price and they have successful sales. Why? Because they can afford that, right? So that is their competitive advantage. They can manufacture as cheap as possible the product, so therefore that is their competitive advantage. So look at the competitive advantage as well. What else do we need? Proper Amazon FBA PPC launch. Budget is something, when it comes down to Amazon PPC, that most people or most brands, they don't even consider it, and especially newer sellers are not even considering that you really need to have enough budget. By enough budget, I am considering at least $3,000 per month for a product that is completely realistic for you. Those $3,000 is going to be maybe for a $10,000 revenue or $10,000 to $50,000 revenue. It's super, super realistic. So that is something that you should be considering. And again, I love how these questions are all Amazon PPC related, yet all the answers that I am giving you and all the details seem to have nothing to do with PPC, yet they 100% support Amazon PPC efforts. Let me know that answered your question. All right, next question. We have 40 more minutes to go. How to use negative keywords the right way in Amazon PPC without blocking good traffic. So it's really important the way how we are going to use Amazon negative keywords. First off, know the life stage of your product. Example, if you already run ads for this product and you have a bunch of search terms, and out of those bunch of search terms, you know that some of the search terms are too expensive, other are irrelevant, other never converted, you already have data for it. So my question is, do you already have that data or you don't? Because then we're going to treat each account differently. Giving you an example, whenever we are going to handle a product launch, we can look into all the totally irrelevant keywords for that product that might come up just because it has a high search volume, or like there are things that might be similar. Like for example, if you would have a urine strip or something like that is for human, I would see cat, dog inside. Those are, even if we never ran ads for that, specific product, now we know that those are things that would never convert. So hence, whenever you are going to create new ads and new campaigns and just let them run, it's highly likelihood that Amazon is going to showcase also for pets, dogs, even if your product is for a human being, right? So those could be one handful of keywords that even if you don't have the search term report and you don't have data for it, that is something that is common knowledge that you would know and you would just add there. So those are the two things that we are looking into. Do we already have data based on what works, what doesn't work? And then we would implement all those within the new campaigns that we are creating. Or do we have common knowns that are never going to convert? Those are also a handful of keywords that we are going to add within our campaign. And the way how we're going to go about this, the moment that we're onboarding an account, and especially if they already have search term reports. Now, if they have search term reports, it's just a bit easier because you already have data on what worked and what did not. So for search term reports, we would download all those things that are highly not relevant for the product or are too expensive. And then we're going to create for that specific ASIN, we're creating a negative exact, negative phrase, and then negative ASIN. And what we're doing also, especially if the brand is, for example, has many branded keywords, we are going to add also the branded keywords. So we have these 4 categories, and based on those 4 categories from the search term reports, we are going to select each search term that did not converted, where does it fit, right? And once that we have that, we just built ourselves a negative list that we can always deploy whenever we're creating new campaigns. So that is the right way how you would select all the negatives instead of just blocking good traffic. Heads up here, because I was talking about negative exact and negative phrase. We're using them both. We're using them for totally different keywords. The negative exact, usually it is a keyword that has at least 2 to 3 to 4 words even inside, and always those are going to become negative exact matches. For negative phrase, we have the one root usually that is always coming up. Either it's highly irrelevant to our product, either we don't want to compete for that specific term and we're going to add it up, either it's just something that people are looking for it and might be something that they might purchase it with, but it's too expensive and we already have data shown that maybe it could be just one click for the one keyword. But if you're going to go through an n-gram analysis and see on a root level, that root might be here one click, there one click, and so on and so forth, and it's summing up to 200 clicks for that specific route that never converted. So that is the way how you would be going about it, and that is also a super good way for you to ensure that you're not going to block good traffic. So someone is asking in the chat, please, what are, from LinkedIn, I mean, what are the checklists for launching a new product? I just answered this 5 to 10 minutes beforehand. Can you please go back? It's exactly about this Amazon FBA PPC launch. I just answered this question right away. Let me know if you find it okay. Okay, the next question. And we have 9 more minutes to go. How can I see quickly, or how can I check quickly whether my Amazon ads are actually working or just burning money? Okay, so we are always, whenever it comes down to this topic, very important when it talks about burning money, we have to understand the concept of what burning money means. Burning money means that you're gathering a lot of data, that you gathered it unnecessarily because you already had a clue beforehand something does not work. That means burning money. Whenever it comes down to you need data together in order to have a better or to make a better decision for your next campaign, that is data gathering. That is not equal to burning money. So I just want to make sure that we are clear on those terms, because burning money usually is always associated with data gathering, which is not the case. So what are some things that you could see right away if your ads are working and you're not investing unnecessarily on things that you already have data for. That's how I would restructure the question. The way how you would do it is, first off, do you meet your profit margins? If you meet your profit margins, and especially if the product is not in the launch phase when you would spend more than make just in order to gain traffic and get sales, basically, that is going to be a really good pulse check for you. The moment that you can still make money, even if 1 ROAS, 2 ROAS, whatever your target ROAS would be, that means that your ads are working the way how it's supposed to, because you're making money. The moment that you've done everything on your power when it comes down to Amazon optimization, you optimize your listing, SEO, so all the keywords that are within the listing, you optimized your creatives, so all the images that showcase in your listing, you ensure that you have enough inventory so you're not running out of stock. You ensure that you're running all the ad types that you could try for your product that could give you a chance to become more profitable on ads. You added coupons, you added the strike through, you played around with pricing, either lowered the price, either increased the price and added a coupon. So you tried all that. And once that you tried all that and you still see that Amazon ads are not profitable for you, that is the question that you would ask, okay, is there anything on my end that I am missing that I could be improving for my product? Giving you a clear example. For example, right now we are helping a client that they had a really good product beforehand, but I'm not sure what happened, if it's the manufacturer issue, if whatever the issue was, but the customers became returning the product. And from a 4.5 star product, now it's a 3.7. No matter what we're doing on the ads end, just because CPCs are so high, and even if we're amazing when it comes down to managing ads, it's a listing issue. It's a perceived value issue. So the customer, whenever they're clicking within the listing, first they're going to say, oh, it's 3.7, and then whatever other people say, oh, this is not matching, and that's really important for me, Even if you did well on the ad sides and you have the correct targeting, you're still going to lose money on that product unless you're going to create a way for you that it's going to generate very, very cheap sales. That is one of the products, or the more difficult products to handle, just because now you have from the market's voice that the product is not good enough. So in that case, you would either need to sell way more, so to lower the price even more, so it's going to sell even more, and hopefully you're also like changing the product quality, so with more sales you're not going to generate more bad reviews, but more good reviews. So that could be also one way. But again, here, actually, as I was saying, this doesn't actually has anything to do anymore with PPC, because we are driving traffic to a listing that converts or it does not convert. And that listing also, imagine this way, I'm going to make you intro to someone, and it's really on you to, hey, to be pleasant, to smile, to show your hand, to like just give the hand and say hello and so on. It's still on you, right? So I can bring you traffic, I can connect you with people, but if you, the person who's like trying to sell their product, is not able to present themselves in a presentable way, then whoever I made the connection with is not going to fall in love, quote unquote, with whatever you have to offer, either your services, either your products. So that's why I'm saying exactly it's the same concept when it comes down to selling products on Amazon. Okay, we have time for one more question. What does a simple but effective Amazon PPC ad strategy look like for most products? Simple but effective Amazon PPC ad strategy. Let me think about it. Simple but effective. It really depends on your goal and what do you want to achieve. Simple and effective can mean that you want to lower your costs when it comes down to advertising, so you want to spend less on it. It can also mean that you want to make more sales with better ads, and also you're going to increase your ad budget. So when it comes down to simple but effective strategy, allow me to give feedback on both of those. So for the first one, when you want to get profitable sales or want to make sure that you're going to get cheaper sales, an effective PPC strategy is going to be lowering your bids as much as you're not going to lose any more revenue, and you're not going to lose the placement that converted best for you. That's simple and effective, and it works always. And then a second thing, if you want to scale and if you want to have more sales, very simple way for us was always dedicate enough spend and enough budget to things that work. It might seem stupid simple, but what we're seeing on our end, especially whenever we are creating new campaigns and we are trying to scale an account, is that most of the time, if we're going to lose where the spend goes, it's very, very easy to lose where does money come from as well, because what can happen is that you might be spending a lot of money on things that did not work, and you're just feeding those, and the things that work and you should be allocating additional budget to, you don't. So those two would be my simple but super effective tips. Let me know if that helped. Right. And I think this is a wrap. Thank you so much for everyone watching and submitting your questions. Super much appreciated. We're going to see each other hopefully next week again, the same time and the same day. See you very soon. If you did not have the chance to submit your question, don't forget that you can also submit a question. And even if you're not able to make it, I'm still going to go through all the questions. So make sure that you're going to still submit the question. Thanks so much for watching. Thanks so much for being here. Again, it was a pleasure. My name is Noemi. I'm the co-founder of ScaleWave, an ad agency that's helping brand selling on Amazon. Appreciate a lot your time and see you next week. Take care. Bye.